didn't get the opportunity earlier to thank someone who's been with us almost from the beginning as one of our official photographers, and he's sitting right in front of me, Mr. Gary Munden. Gary, thank you. Also want to acknowledge some of the people whose ads you'll see in the book today. We've heard a little bit about some of the antics that go on when you drink beer, so we'd like to thank Paul Desbaillet from the Burgundy Lion, Rod Appleby from Hurley's, and Paul Dunn from the Irish Embassy. Glad to see you guys back over. You know, you learn something new every year when you come here. I'm sorry Mitch isn't here because there's something I learned today. A large group of people from this community fought against the casino. Mary Baggett's running a bingo out of her house. Knights of Columbus are running cabarets from the church. And Mrs. Myers is a bookie. Who needs a casino? And if you're going to talk about famous Reds, you have to mention another Red, our own Point St. Charles, Mr. Red Ross. Also want to thank Sean O'Donnell, who's sitting up here this year inducting Cordy, and for the first 15 years, and still helping, Sean ran our scholarship committee, and due to an overload of work to support and raise funds at Sacred Heart, he's had to take a bit of a step back, which means he doesn't have to come to meetings, but he usually has to call in when we have questions, and he still has to show up and help and make sure that we're on target. So Sean, thank you. "16 years ago, we started a scholarship fund as part of the inaugural event. We started out with $250 that we all threw into the pot, and we wanted to honor 2 of our youth that were no longer with us. And immediately, we were told that wasn't good enough, and the scholarships went from $250 to $1,000. And that was all because of Mr. Ron Schultz. Nipper, thank you. Our first 2 named scholarships were, as Mitch mentioned, in the name of Sharon Pryor. And I'd like to acknowledge the Pryor family. I haven't done that for a while, but Mrs. Yvonne Pryor, Maureen Pryor, and Maureen Pryor. Sharon's mom and sister. Our other named scholarship was for Robert O'Donnell, a tremendous young athlete from our community who was taken way too early. And I'd like to thank his family for their continued support every year. We've gone from giving out 2 $1,000 scholarships to giving out anywhere from $18,000 to $23,000, $24,000 a year. And I'd like to call upon Darren McGuire, who was one of those young guys that used to run around the point and chase the baseballs John Patwell would hit in the park. Who went on to graduate from McGill University and become one of our most prominent lawyers. And I'd like to call Darren up front to announce the scholarship winners for this year.